let me ask the people a question out there. Do you think that anywhere around the world, any nation, think of any nation you want, that the average person walks around thinking, oh, wouldn't it be a great idea if we had a nuclear weapon? Yeah, that's on the forefront of my mind. You know what people around the world think about? It doesn't matter if it's Pakistan, Iran, Israel, Holland, Canada, the United States. You know what they think about? Getting to work on time. They think about putting their kids through school. They think about what they're going to eat for lunch. They think about what they're going to do this weekend. They think about what they're going to watch on Netflix. What they don't think about is, you know, how do we go raid, the county next door? Or how do we grab a nuclear bomb? No one's thinking about that. But you know who does think about that? Fucking governments playing their bullshit geopolitical games like they have done historically and always dress it up, whether it's through nationalism or patriotism or duty or honor or all these, quite frankly, bullshit fucking phrases. That's the truth. It's a total lack of compassion. And it's a total disconnect from reality because they're not out there doing the fighting. You know who's doing the fighting? Young, credulous, impressionable 18-year-olds. That's who goes out there and does all the fighting, and does all the bloodshed. Go to Arlington Cemetery. And if you guys ever been there, it's quite a shocker because when you see the graves, you'll notice that, maybe the guy was born in, 1920, died 1944 or something like that, or you'll notice that, in other words, the average age is between, 17 to 21 years old or something like that, right? 25, 24, like young lives. And who pays the tab all the time for these bullshit geopolitical games is the people. The people like you and me. And right now in Tehran, there's a traffic jam, literally 1 million cars on their highways trying to get the fuck out of Dodge, right? They can't get into, they're just trying to find shelter wherever they can. Obviously, Pakistan just closed their border, and I'm assuming probably Turkey will as well, right? And the other neighboring nations. And it's a fucking tragedy, to say the least, because I guess now you can just launch illegal wars. But let me let you in on something. No war is legal. Just because a group of people say that it's legal, it doesn't make it righteous. It doesn't make it justified. And we have this bad habit as a society to glorify and dramatize and romanticize warfare. And only the people who've been through it understand what it actually fucking is. It's just to give you an analogy. You can go to the movies and watch, Rocky fight, and it's romanticized and glorified. And then when you actually get in a fucking school fight, and they're swinging potatoes at your face, it's a whole different visceral feeling. Reality is much clunkier, it's much messier, it's much dirtier, right? So my message is, anyone out there who's ever going to listen to this shit, basically show more compassion, more empathy, right? Get out of your fucking heads. Get this fantasy or ideology or ideas about what reality is and what reality actually is. So I say that to people, for example, who support these mass deportations, or the way that they're done, right? Where, oh, my president is strong. I have a strong man for a leader. And it's like, if you can't sympathize with a young Guatemalan mother who's getting ripped away from her kid, or her kid getting ripped away from her, and you don't know where your mom's going to be or your family member's going to be, and they're deporting you back to a literal hellscape, then you just haven't suffered enough in life. Clearly, an injustice hasn't been done to you. Clearly, you've never been punched in the fucking mouth, right? You've never been pinned down. You've never been in a compromised, vulnerable position. So for those of us who understand what it is to actually eat shit, we can show more compassion and more empathy towards our, fellow humans, if you will, right? We're always going to have differences of opinion and, which God to worship and how to pray to him, or who's good or who's bad, or what laws, and, all that stuff. But my message to the world is show more compassion and remember to lift more, eat more, rest more, love more, and hate less.